Today, we're going to be doing an anti-backdash guy. Backdashing has been the talk of the town. If you search on the Reddit for 2xKO, you get a lot of people talking about how the toxic backdashing is just breaking everything. This is all a thing. Backdash meta is kind of sad. Hopefully do something to address it. Backdash meta. Backdash spam until assist. Backdash blah, 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 blah. Backdash spamming meta. I don't know why Kai is there. I saw another one saying like, oh my god, here's a match of Grandmaster 2xKO, and it's just like, it starts with two people backdashing. So we are in the business of trying to learn and not complain. So while there might be issues in some matches, the backdashing thing is strong. What I'm instead going to do today is tell you 5 different ways that you can fight backdashing. Now, warning, none of these are going to instantly explode the other opponent off the screen as soon as they backdash. This is important to remember, right? None of it's going to be like, wow, you instantly won the match just because they backdashed. It's also not going to always be with the slowest character, right? Like I'll pick Braum to show some universal things, but let's start off by not picking just the fastest characters, and we'll pick some good backdash characters, right? To start off, number 1, and you guys already know this, but how do you beat backdashing? The first things that comes to mind a lot of the time is just running after them, right? So number 1, running after them, yes, is something you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to get in close if your character wins from getting close. This is the really big problem, right? That if someone just keeps backdashing like this, average 2xKO round, you can generally catch them, right? But this is not really what's usually happening. Even with Braum, right? Like it might take a while if you start with Braum, but they're not. You generally get a little bit closer as time goes on, right? Even Braum can catch Echo. Like the slowest character can catch the fastest character. Or you run all the way, and then they will get to the corner, and then now they have to fight you, right? And now they're cornered, and you're not. This is step 1 of beating any player that runs away. To start by breaking down this backdash problem, right, and how to beat it, the most important thing we have to realize is what is actually happening, right? Are you losing to someone just backdashing? No, right? Because if they just backdash, they get hit. Then what is actually happening here? A lot of the time, they will backdash and call an assist, right? Now, if they do a defensive assist and you're dashing forward, this might actually catch you, right? Now, the way I like to break down neutral is go by step, right? So if I know they're going to call an assist, like a back assist that's just holding space, I can wait for this to fade away, right? And then now they have to interact with me. Either with Ari, they can tag to Ari or not. Or if they do a more forward moving assist, which is the most common assist, right? Like a My Time or an Ari forward assist. This is a different thing, right? Now they're calling forward assist, and you have to deal with this, and this is very easy to hit. A lot of times it's hard to react to, but it is very important to remember or to realize this: you can react to assist calls. They are not unreactable. I can wait here and actually react with a parry on the assist call. So reacting to assist call is one of the 5 ways. Reacting with parry, you can also obviously react with block. And for some assists with like Ari that is not very pleasant block, this is actually a fine strategy. The next thing they're going to do here, right, is, okay, they made you block an assist. So what they're going to do is they're going to do this, and then they're going to tag, right? So many of these assists don't have actually good frame data. So it's very important to remember which assists are actually really plus on block and which are not. So for example, for Ari, she's not very plus, so I can actually retreating guard as soon as I see them tag and push them away. You could also save your own assist to push block them away, maybe even before they run up like this, and now their attack whips. This is a really, really important, good way of basically when I'm chasing them, right? I'm still ready for the assist. You always look to be ready for the assist. You can, at any point, you can cancel with block to catch to block their assist, right? And then you can save your own assist to negate their handshake tag by push blocking them. This is not foolproof by any means, but it's a good first step to make sure that they're not getting free neutral wins and getting into pressure from just backdashing calling assist. Now, what are other ways to deal with assist? So this is where it gets character specific to some degree. But let's start off with the most obvious one, which is jump, right? Most assists hit the ground. And this is a common mistake I see, actually, that you see people chase after people and then this happens, right? And then they try to jump over the assist. This is good sometimes, but be aware, because if I know someone is running in and then jumping heavy, right, like this, it's pretty easy to tag and then instant 2H someone. So this is something you're gonna have to realize. Is my opponent good at doing this? If they're not, then jumping over assist is actually a very good thing. But what I actually think is the right call to do a lot of the time is to jump and then block while you're jumping and then call your own assist. So let's say they do this and then they try to attack like that. If I jump here, right, and then I block, like I can kind of at least not get hit. And if they do nothing, a lot of the time my assist will beat theirs, depending on timing, of course, right? Like our assist is faster, and then force them to block, right? And if the assist call is wrong, right, as long as I actually hold block, then you can a lot of the time at least get a decent situation here, right? Sometimes this will go wrong. This depends on which assist you have. Yasuo's assist, for example, is an assist that you want to call earlier because it's long startup, but on block it's very, very good, right? If I can make him block Yasuo's assist here, then I win by default, right? Now it's my turn. Despite the fact that he backdashed, I'm now on pressure, right? And so very important to remember is understanding your assist range and their assist range. If they're gonna call my time, you might have to call your assist very early or try to deal with their assist and then call yours. This is just team games. Yes, we can nerf assist. Yes, 2x assist is very good, but understanding your assist versus their assist is the most fundamental part of what makes a team game. That doesn't mean you always have to be like backdashing perma and like nothing is wrong with backdashing either, or that we can't nerf forward dashing or we can't nerf forward jumping, whatever. But understand that you are not losing to just backdashing. You're losing to backdashing plus something, right? And the plus something is the thing you often need to focus on, along with making sure that you are also utilizing your assist perfectly, right? So for example, something that I see a lot of people do, which is they just call their assist as soon as he possibly can, right? Like round start, they call it instantly, right? And this is one of the reasons why it's so good to backdash. See, they backdash out of the assist and then they call theirs on reaction. This is something called counter calling. You can counter call something before or after, but it's the inherent thing of like, I understand when you're gonna call your assist and I'm gonna call my assist to counter yours. If you have a faster assist than their opponent, then you can call it faster. If I think their round start is just gonna be like this, right? Then I can counter call my assist. With Braum, it might be hard to always move out of the way, but it's still possible, right? Like if I call it instantly, I lose because my assist is slower, but I can call it later, and you know, that wasn't amazing because Time Wander is broken and it's covering that shit, but I at least can now have my assist take Time Wander and then hit Ahri here instead, right? And this also means that if they tag to Ahri, they might be in a losing situation, or at least not a super winning one, right? Sometimes you do have the worst assist, and you have to kind of play around that. But, you know, with Braum specifically, you can do things like you can shield it and then call assist, right? In this case, I would try to shield both attacks, right? And then call it. Sorry, I'm not a Braum main. You can also do something where you cover the screen with something. So like, what would Braum use? He would maybe use like a 5M here, and then he calls his own assist at the same time. All right. Now, this is just getting down to like basic RPS and poking with assist, but it's very important to understand that backdashing is not just runaway. It's also spacing, right? It's also moving away. And since the standard strategy right now is to just instantly call your assist, of course, the next layer, which is backdashing away from it, right? And then calling your own assist. Especially if you have a broken projectile like Time Wander to match, is going to be the winning strategy. For example, let me look at a sequence here you can also do. So if they start like this, I can do Time Wander, and then I can use my own wind wall or my own projectile to fight this, right? You want to be moving away, but so now that we realize why is backdashing so good, now we can also counteract, right? So if I'm the Echo here and I know I'm just gonna backdash, right? Now I know the next layer, which is I'm gonna chase them and then call my assist, right? And oftentimes it's better to chase and then either be able to react to the assist or to jump and then call assist. So as Echo, I could do this and then call assist, right? Like that. So now if I'm just backdashing, all of a sudden, like in 1 second, I'm cornered and now I have to look out for an assist, maybe a double assist. And as the Echo, I can realize during the jump, oh my god, I can do another jump normal. They're not gonna 2H me, whatever, right? Obviously, some slower characters might have to run for 2 seconds. But as long as you're not getting hit on your run-in, backdashing by itself is not the big problem, right? Because you will actually corner yourself. As long as you're patient and as long as you're willing to wait 1, 2, 3. Sometimes, you know, I'm fully cornered and this is going to take way longer to get to the back. But it at the large, if you zoom out a little bit, running for 5 seconds, if that was all they're doing, is not that big of a deal. We've talked a lot about just straight backdashing, right? But what you'll probably realize is a lot of people, they're not just doing this, right? They're doing jump back, they're doing jump time wander, they're doing helm breaker, they're doing like dash backing and then dashing forward, right? As soon as they see you dash forward, they go for themselves, right? Not even with assist. Because that's the thing, right? If all they do is backdash and then call assist, and then they keep backdashing, right? And I hit their assist, like let's say with a projectile. Now, during this time is your chance to strike. This is another really important team game fundamental. One of the reasons why backdashing and moving backwards has always been good and will always be good is because assists have cooldowns, right? And this is something that takes a while to really understand, but it basically is a soft turn base. Like sometimes you have an advantage in neutral, just like when your opponent in Street Fighter 6 is burnt out. It's on the other opponent that's not burnt out. They're incentivized to go in because if nothing happens, then the burnout fades and everything goes back to neutral, right? So if I hit their assist, or I just make it wait for whatever reason, right? Okay. During these 3 seconds, and I think it should be longer, to be clear. I think you should be hurt longer for hitting an assist. Now is my time, no pun intended, to make a move and to make them feel like, oh shit, I can't play neutral because I don't have my assist. So in this spot, right, all of a sudden they're just like cornered and they have no assist to fight. And I think a lot of people don't realize just like how long the assist is actually dead, because they also have to disappear before the timer starts. And so what a lot of people do then is that they feel like there's no reward for hitting assist, because what happens is that they first call assist, and then as soon as they get the chance, right, the assist is gone or whatever, and then they just run in, and then your opponent reads them and they dash 5M because they see you're dashing forward. I'm sorry, but when this happens, it's just a skill issue. You just got out footsied, man. You were chasing someone running away and they took a risk and they dashed forward and hit you. When this happens, you have to understand they out footsied you. So what's the answer then? The answer is you gotta work on your own movement. So instead of hitting someone and then running all the way in, expecting them to keep backdashing like nothing, like not looking at the screen, it's time for you to look at the screen, right? It's time for you to fake them out. So you can dash forward a little bit and check the reaction. And then, oh, wow, they assumed I was going to keep chasing them. Let me stop in place and then whiff punish them, right? you're not walking back and forward in this game like Street Fighter. In this game, you're gonna be wave dashing or chain dashing, and dash blocking is a very, very, very good strategy as well. Because here I can dash block, and then if they do whiff an attack, now I can actually whiff punish, right? Or take my turn at least. Even just making them block in this game is very, very strong. And sometimes just minimizing the fact that I didn't get hit is a win. Because they don't have their assist, right? So even blocking a stand medium is not that bad. But if they block for me after their assist is gone, right? Like this is a really fucked up situation, right? So realizing this is probably step 3. The standard push and pull of team games, which is when your assist is on cooldown, due to it whiffing, due to it being dead, due to whatever, it is the other opponent's duty to make the most out of this use. But it's very important to understand that just because they don't have assist doesn't mean they're dead in the water, can't do anything. And if you're predictable on your approaches, you will still get hit. But just realize this then. Sometimes, if I'm Braum here, right? Let's make this with a very slow character. Maybe you feel like they can just do this, right? And then just keep backdashing. And then eventually they get their assist again. This might be the feeling if you're slow at taking your turn, but if you actually have your time, see, like, they still didn't have their assist there. They're trying to call assist as soon as possible. Right? There is really like the first realistic time. And you have to understand that if you play Braum, this is part of what you signed up for, right? Because you have a shield that can deny assists. You can win any assist battle by just doing this. So you have to accept that when you play a slower character, you're kind of okay with some of these. And that's also why it's good to not play 2 slow characters together. Right? It's not a requirement, but if you pick the 2 slowest characters together, you're gonna have to accept that you're gonna have to run a little bit longer. That sometimes, if let's say the backdashing started full screen, this is a perk of the fact that they have you in the corner, and instead of using this to corner pressure, they're using this to run keep away. And now it's on you to run them down to the other corner without just getting hit instantly as soon as they call their assist. But I would really recommend just putting a bot spamming backdashing and calling assist, and just like moving across this, and then like practicing jumping forward, calling assist. Jumping forward and blocking is a very, very important team game. If you watch Justin Wong back in Marvel 3, what he would be doing against Chris G against much better runaway strategies than we have in this game. You just jump forward, jump forward, jump forward, and every time you jump, you go straight to down back. Go to down back, go to down back, right? And then when you get close enough, he called a Kuma assist. In this game, it can be any Larry assist, right? It's such a simple strategy, but I promise you, it's so good. And it will change a lot about how it actually feels. And in this game, you also get more when you dash jump, right? Regular jump versus dash jump, pretty big difference. You can also dash super jump. So step number 4 is probably overall just accept that you have to get your movement really clean, both backwards and forwards, right? So this is just like very, very simple, but faking a forward dash by doing this, you know, and then doing it multiple times, or dashing forward, then jumping, then dash forward, then dash blocking, like we mentioned earlier, dashing forward, calling assist, then dash blocking. All these things really, really help in how to actually combat runaway. In general, better movement goes a long way. And I don't mean to be mean, but a lot of these people that only whine about backdashing, they just have very stiff, very bad movement. A lot of characters are faster if they chain dash, by the way. So make sure you check up on that. If your character actually has a better way of moving faster, instead of just holding dash, they can be chain dashing. They can be dashing back and forward, right? This is something, you know, for me as a melee player, comes pretty natural, but you really do see a lot of people that are not good at like faking movement and just being in the right spots, realizing like, okay, If I stand here, RA assist doesn't hit me. But if they move forward and then call RA assist, then it hits me. So then maybe I have to move back here. Or maybe I have to move forward to stop them, right? This is something that takes a lot of time. And when you're getting outplayed by someone better than you, it's gonna feel like there's nothing you can do to catch them. But I promise you, it is possible. Backdashing is good, especially if you're down a character, but it is not unbeatable by itself. So we've discussed a couple of things. There's also something that I'm not going to go too much into now, but it's just like the base is use fast special moves or projectiles, you know, to cover your approach. So this could be with Yasuo, right? If I know my opponent is backdashing and then back jumping, right? Because this is also a very strong strategy. They can back jump, right? Obviously I can air throw here, but this can be pretty risky, right? It can be pretty hard. You can also do run up 2H. Run up 2H is a very, very good strategy against characters that do a lot of jump backs, like Ahri, like Echo, Jinx, right? So this is very important to do. Also, remember to learn your air block string. So if I know they're going to back jump, try to do this, medium heavy, right? With Echo or with Yasuo, you can also confirm it like that, or with J2H. You know, with Braum, it's going to be something different. I don't play Braum, but let's see what we can find. So like jump medium is probably the big one. You can JL as well, I think. So like once we have them actually here in the corner, yeah, you do maybe JL, and then depending on the height, you have to like do J2H here to bring them down. Small things like this, they might not look like the biggest thing, like, oh, what is it gonna help me? Being 5% better on the air confirm, 5% better on air throw. It really does add up to make it feel like the screen is tiny instead of massive, depending on if you're playing against a great player who's good at rushing down or a bad player. And then obviously, different characters have different rush down moves. So here, I can, with Yasuo, if I know they're gonna jump, I can catch them with a JS1 and then call my assist on the way down to make it safe in case they block. A lot of different characters have these moves. Whether it's, you know, let's just look at the cast. Ahri, you can do Spirit Rush and then call your assist. Spirit Rush, very unsafe on block. Very good. It doesn't matter, actually, if you have an assist to cover you. Blitzcrank, you can do a Hail Mary hook that catches jump or on the ground. And if they block it, or if it, you know, they jump when you did a ground hook, whatever, call the assist tag into it to cover it. Darius, for example, he has big swing moves, S2. He also has the up hook that catches up back jump, very important. Eli has a bunch of different moves. You can do the projectile. Jinx, you know, this is a very good thing, by the way, because a lot of people play slower characters and they're like, what do I do if they run away from me when I'm this slow, right? With Jinx, you're not supposed to chase them like this, right? She's not that fast. Yeah, you can chain dash to be a little faster. Like, it's possible. She does have dash M. But a lot of the time, every character will have different answers. So with Jinx, the answer is that if they're not interacting with me, I'm going to toss 2 traps, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to run behind them. And then all of a sudden, I'm in, right? So you can force people to interact with you depending on your character. Now, of course, Echo can pretend to backdash and then call double assist. And then if I'm just like sitting here calling traps and not paying attention, like obviously it's possible for me to get hit, right? But again, now they're using their assist. So if I know this is going to happen, I can hit the assist and then call mine, or just run them down into the corner. And remember, even when your character is dead, you still have another assist. So it's not like you can ever be in a situation in this game where your opponent always has their assist and you never have one. So with Teemo and Jinx, I would say the setting up a projectile is very, very important. With Braum and Braum, Blitzcrank, Darius, Alawi, these characters that are, and Warwick actually, but Warwick's not that slow. So Braum, Blitzcrank, Darius, Alawi, these are characters that are a little bit slower, but what do they all have in common? Braum, Darius, Blitzcrank, and Alawi, they're all extremely oppressive once they finally hit the corner, right? So making sure that you value getting them to the corner a bit longer is very good. Or what you can also do, so let's say I play a Braum and I also play Ahri. This is a really common strategy that I don't see, like common myths that I don't see people do. Sometimes you're just in a bad matchup, man. So if they're just running away and you're on Braum, sometimes you just raw tag. It's way faster than you might think. They cannot punish on reaction. And then, you know, if they're just backdashing like this, I will just straight up just raw tag to my fastest character and then chase them, right? For the final tip, number 5, whatever, I don't know if this is actually like 5 tip structure, you know. We're gonna use something that might go away soon, but is very, very important right now to stop runaway. And it's to create an artificial corner, or in other words, to screen lock. What the hell do I mean by that? Well, if someone's trying to backdash, right, you can create an artificial corner in this game by calling an assist. And because the screen does not let you run away from the other assist, right? They actually, see how they don't go anywhere? See, normally, oh my god, it takes forever, right? In this, see how little time it takes? If I do a 4 moving assist, see? Suddenly, all of a sudden, they can run away again. But if I do an assist that doesn't move, whoa, the corner is... And you can do this like pretty unreactably too, right? It can be hard for them to tell, oh shit, they actually did a back assist compared to here, right? Screen locking is something very, very important right now. So make sure that you know which assist you use that screen lock. So for example, it might be very, very counterintuitive, but if you have, let's say, Yasuo on your team, right? The standard thing you might assume is that if you want to chase them, I want to call my forward assist, but like the forward assist is whiffing, even with 2x assist. So what I instead want to do, I want to back assist, right? Because the back assist screen locks. See how quick I can catch up to them now versus here where it takes like significantly longer. Another thing is you can do reverse screen locking. So let me just move this to the top so I make sure I don't cover anything. So reverse screen locking is letting your assist chase them while you lock the screen in place. So notice that, like, let's just use a mark on the screen. So notice if I just stand here, Echo can go this far, right? Notice where on the ground he is at. He's like slightly above this like little pillar, a bit back from the boat. If I keep dashing at him, see how he keeps chasing, like he goes all the way into the actual corner. Gets a lot of more space. If I backdash, see how he can't go any further, right? He doesn't even make it, right? Now, you might think, oh, but you're running away now too. Like, how am I going to get any closer? Well, your assist can be the one getting closer. So you can screen lock by backdashing or just staying in place even. And then as you're doing this, you call your assist, right? This is a very, very common strategy with double assist, for example. But this works even without double assist. So you can do this. And then the trick is, see here, I'm tagging. All of a sudden, the screen starts moving again, right? You can extend this. You can further screen lock the screen by whiffing an action. See now? The screen doesn't move because Ahri's doing something. The screen can't move on from her because she's still doing her thing. So I can actually, just before I tag, like I don't waste any time with Yasuo here, keep screen locking with my other character. You can do this even better somehow, you know, by doing, with Ahri here, I would do the projectile, for example. If it's reverse here, I would do my, like this projectile, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but find an action that's very long. If you want the generic most longest thing, just do charge 5 age. And you can even do this in an interesting way. You can do it like this. You can jump back and then screen locks the screen because you're moving back, but also moving forward on your other character. So these are just a couple different ways to prevent people from running away. But I want to end this video with some just generic talk about team games and further like strategize against someone that you know is playing very lame. Number one, most important thing when you're playing against someone that you think is playing very safe, don't get flustered. There's a lot of time on the screen, and unless the time is actually below 15-20 seconds and you have a huge deficit, you can take your time to get in. Letting your opponent know that them running away makes you mad is the easiest way for them to keep doing it, right? Like, they're gonna realize, oh shit, what I'm doing is working. So if you don't want your opponent to get mad at backdashing, then don't show it, right? In this game, it's very easy to accidentally show that you're getting flustered. That's step one. Step two is do this back to them. What do I mean by this? One of the ways to beat backdashing is, you're not gonna like it, but it's true, to also do it back to them. Now, if regardless of how many different ways I have, I can screen lock, I can jump and call my assist. If they know that I'm gonna force the issue, that I'm impatient, it's so much easier for them to build a strategy around backdashing, because they know that if they backdash, it's gonna make me mad, and I'm gonna rush in, and then they call their assist, and whatever happens, it's always gonna be on their terms. They're gonna get to play their game plan. Just like, you know, think of this like Street Fighter. If I know my opponent is either forward dashing or jumping in, it's pretty easy to beat them. I just have to check their forward dash while being ready to anti-air, right? But if my opponent is doing a bunch of different things, if they run away here and I'm putting up wind wall, forward dashing and back dashing, I'm willing. Oh, I have a lead, right? Let me run back. Another thing, right? Oh, I want to hit their assist first, right? But what if my assist loses, right? You're not always going to win. There are trades. This time it lost, right? If they're just backdashing forever, I'm going to just wait until my assist is ready before I make a new attempt, right? Since I'm down on time, it's not my turn right now because my assist is on cooldown and theirs is not. It is actually their turn. If they actually don't approach here, that just gives me infinite amount of time to try again, right? Like, I can just keep trying until one time my assist will win. Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep backdashing too, right? Oh, I've called it wrong again. All right, let me wait a little bit longer, and now this time it works, right? So what you will do by not always being the one to show that you're impatient is, you don't have to do this all the time, but just throwing in paper every now and then in the rock paper scissors really does make it harder to predict how you're gonna play. So now that they're gonna be like, oh wait, he's just waiting, right? So, well, they don't have their assist, let me run in myself, right? This is pretty common. Like, if someone else is like just running away, now you're showing, oh shit, I don't have my assist, it's time for you to go in. Now you can do the same thing fucking back to them. You can stop them from running in, right? When you're willing to show that you're willing to represent everything, you're willing to represent running in, taking your assist, hitting their assist, using specials, using screen lock, using dash jump, using dash super jump, dash blocking, faking movement, and then you're also adding the final layer of doing it back to them. This is what creates a dynamic neutral that might not seem fun at first because, oh, all you're doing is poking, calling assist. But I promise you, if you're willing to give it an honest chance, you will be able to find the fun and the tons of different ways and variations you can run this neutral that like keeps team games entertaining for me long after, you know, many people have gotten bored by it. Because if you can find the fun in doing it yourself, you will also find out like, oh, I'm just backdashing and running away. How am I losing, right? Because you're not going to win every game, right? You're probably in gold, diamond, plat. You're not challenger. So how are you going to find the way to beat your own strategy? Sometimes it's just by doing the strategy back and seeing what is actually losing to it. And yeah, that's the main thing. Let me look at a couple clips and we'll talk a little bit about them.